law and love to heal the world. The cruelty under which George Floyd died is one among many forms of violence and social injustices that have plagued the entire world. Police brutality, homicide, terrorism, racism, tribal clashes, election violence, rape have threatened the peace and security of citizens worldwide. This violence has not begun today. It dates back at the Garden of Eden when Cain murdered his own brother out of jealousy. It is the violence that has continued to trickle down history when man has disregarded the value of another man nor has paid tribute to the laws of the land. Remember the historical massacres that depopulated the earth. Remember the world wars. Remember the Nazi Holocaust. Remember the Rwanda genocide that painted the world red. Coming back home in Kenya, we cannot forget the post-election violence that robbed the lives of many, leaving others crippled and others are still homeless up to date. We cannot forget the everyday homicide stories that splash our screens where man kills woman, woman kills man and children, vice versa. Remember the femicide stories that were at our news headlines all through the months, the likes of Sharon Otieno, Ivy Wangeshi, Joyce Yombua and others. We cannot forget the police brutality that we experienced in our own country. Just the other day when the curfew was launched, we saw what happened at Likoni in Mombasa when the women were being brutalized by police. We cannot forget the so many unreported cases of rape that happen within our households and at the back streets of our towns, at the slums and at the villages. We cannot forget the terrorist attacks that have been happening in this country. Remember the Garissa University attacks. Remember the Westgate siege. Remember the Dusit 2 Riverside attack and many others. You ask, why should all this violence take place? Yet we have laws, we have rules, we have the constitution, we have regulations and policies, and yet we have leaders who have sworn allegiance to protect its citizens. It has become a reputation that we make rules to break them when it is convenient to us. That as leaders, we apply legislation to protect our interests and to keep away those who come near them. Well, what if today we just take a little time to remind ourselves that all authority comes from above, that all authority has been established by God Himself, that the rules of the land are sacred, and that each one of us shall bear our own judgment at the end of our time. What if, as citizens of the world, take this time to remind ourselves to cultivate the agape love of God amongst ourselves? It is the love that does no harm to another man. It is the love that rejoices to build up humanity and not tear it apart. It is the love that rejoices the success of others and not quick to bring them down. It is the love that is kind to all, no matter the background, the race, the color of the skin, no matter the social status, no matter the village I come from, no matter my height, no matter my width. Indeed, the Spirit of God prophesied that in the last days men shall be lovers of themselves. They shall be boisterous. They shall be envious. They shall be selfish. They shall seek their own interest, and the love of many will grow cold. But even as that occurs, you and I have the opportunity today to choose which side of the spectrum that you want to be. Do you want to be on the side of the love of God and love for fellow human that is much more fulfilling? Or do you want to be on the side of the love of self that is self-destructive? For love is the recipe of this global disease. It is the love for God and love for neighbor. This love covers a multitude of sins. It is the love that cares, the love that is kind. It is the love that endures. It is the love that conquers.